Okay, so hi everyone, welcome on board. Today we have a very interesting faculty with us on board for our interview preparation strategy. How do you go ahead with the entire preparation? Let me welcome on board Dr. Vasanth here, who is, trust me guys, you will be amazed to know he's a double doctorate who's done double majors in performing arts and an MBA, who has been training students in Europe and India, like a guest faculty in Europe Business School, and also in India here with ISBR Bangalore, and also a national award winner in classical dancing. So like plethora of things. So welcome on board, Dr. Vasanth.
Good evening. Thank you so much. Absolutely pleasure to be on the platform today.
It's our pleasure to have you. So one thing which is out of sheer curiosity, like double majors and like so many degrees. I mean, we all get tired by doing one MBA or getting that. What made you do so
Right.
double doctorate?
Well, I think I'm sure it was any student who's listening to us, and that includes you too, would have something called this passion. And deep within the passions need not always be because of the status or the society that we live in, have the profession matching with that of your passion. Sometimes that you want to be a cricketer need not always be the cricketer for profession. So for profession, I had to push myself to finish my graduation in science and master's MBA, and then do a corporate job. Deep within, I was an artist, so there's a deep passion. So for the passion's sake, and that's for my sake, I'm a dancer, and that qualification. And for the profession's sake, that's my MBA as well as that qualification. And beautiful part is I see management as an art and an art in management. So that's where we come together too.
That's so beautiful and so amazingly well put.
Right.
Like you have your profession, which is paying off the bills, and you live for your passion as well. Brilliant. Yeah. So, sir, when you you take interviews with all the students, even at ISBR and all the others as well, also in your life, which you would have taken, what do you think, like, what are the most essential qualities you look forward to in a candidate?
Right. I think one is it's very crucial for us, especially at ISBR, where we focus a lot on PI compared to any other rounds, especially because we believe that that's one face-to-face and a moment of truth where we really get to analyze a student and his capabilities. And many times looking at the numbers, we might reject them. Or so that's why ISBR takes a student at anybody to come on to the interview and explain us as to why he's done anything bad as he's done in the past in terms of scores and academics. And then how is that a promise to us that he's going to make better? And there's a win-win situation with both of us. And that being first. And second is MBA is one and probably the only platform where we get students from absolutely diverse background. One could be BA Dance, one could be BTech, and one could be BA Literature or Commerce and Arts and BBA and Dentist and Medical, Law, and they come from any background. So the one platform for us to really match all of us. So we as a professors really want to know if we have a right candidate in the class, and that becomes very important on to understand the clarity of a student if he's choosing the section or a college or a university by choice, or is it a mass push, which is what is the case with many of the students. They don't really have a clarity on why they're doing whatever they're doing. So that's
basically something which is clarity of thought in terms of what you're looking in life. Amazing. Right. That's really good. So, sir, if you were to ask, the first question which everybody asks is to introduce yourself or tell me something about yourself.
Right.
So how would you approach that question, or what would you suggest the students? What should they focus on highlighting in such questions?
Right. So I think this is a very crucial question. While it sounds as easy as possible because the students are trained all the way from school days, but still they do. Most of the students end up being very terrible or bad or nervous in the interview sections. So the first and foremost thing is, as I always say, that a smile can do a magic. So come in with a beautiful confidence, that oozing out of the confidence to really give him the other person a very comfort zone, and you take the control. I think that confidence and smile will take the control of the interview in your hand. If you give the interview control in the professor's hand on the other side, then you're in for a trouble. That's the first thing. And second and important thing is that you should concentrate on introducing yourself very unconventionally, that I might probably have not seen something of those in your CV. Because your CV is something that we already study anyways. That apart, we also give you an SOP, which is what is in any top B schools like ISBR. We also give you an SOP. So
Correct.
I want to see how your CV, your background, your SOP, and your introduction is all knitted together beautifully, and one does not really dissimilar to others. So sometimes you write something for the heck of it, and then you don't really mean it. You say you have a lot of hobbies. You come into the interview and said, "Well, I think I just wrote it because I think I had it in my first standard and not anymore." And that doesn't sound at all. So a perfect alignment between all that I have in papers, that's your SOP and CV, must match with that of you in front of me, what you're presenting. And
Correct.
especially so I want to know what's not on the CV.
Lovely. That's a great piece of advice, guys. So make sure all your application forms, your SOPs, and what you say are aligned and in sync. And at the same time, give some wow factors, which is beyond the CV, which will intrigue the panelists to, drive the questions and ask you more onto the same thing.
Yeah.
That's a very nice advice. And I love the way Sir says, have a smile. You should always see him. Sir's always smiling. Will not see an angry face on him, which
Right.
a very nice thing, a pleasant smile. So, sir, when you say smile, also is it very important to have good, confident body language? Like
Yeah,
it's something which people ignore. I feel.
absolutely a lot, especially considering the fact about in Indian body, because we students, Indians are quite expressive with body, but they don't mean it in the words, or the words mean something, but the body don't. And that is where they really get stuck because for most of them, interview is a beautiful act that they try to put up for 10 minutes and which is very difficult to put up an act. Not everybody can pull it on. So
Correct.
it's important to also be yourself. And so your body language speak the same as that of your words. So if they both have to match, so please keep a body language that's comfortable to you as well as the person opposite. So like kneeling on the body and taking the hands upward and really feeling at home, that's not okay. So you're entering a professional course, and that's going to be very serious. To most of you, it's a gentle reminder that it's probably your last 2 years of education in your life ever. It's a
Yeah.
tertiary education, unless you want to do your PhD. So it becomes very important to show the not so serious background with a very serious future oriented student. एक छोटी सी transformation हमें दिखना चाहिए. From an undergraduate where it was a very dilly-dally, happy mode, you had everything, to a very serious where you start talking change of words like career, job, focus, security, money, family, protection. So these, I think, transformation is something that I want to see in the attitude when you answer, both in the body language as well as the words.
Lovely. So basically, guys, put your sitting at home, chilling attitude at the back and get a little professional, a little more confident. And I think the way you speak also shows how confident you are and how nervous you are at the same time.
Yeah. Yes. See, I think, again, as I really tell students, like, don't really try to put up what you're not. And that's not possible to really prolong a long time. You're trained, of course, to give a good interview, but you really don't know. Like, for example, in my master's, when I gave to US as an interview, I was really prepared for economics while I was going back from a science background. But then, for a very surprising, not a single question was anything asked on technical, but it was all about India and Indian dance. And so, in fact, I controlled the interview and made sure he asks me nothing other than dance. And then only promise that he asked me was if I could teach him sometimes when I go back. And I was on the top list with 100% scholarship, of course. I mean, it's
Lovely.
not that I would ask you that you all should do that, but I think it is really your luck also on who sits opposite and how the panel really handles the situation and
Correct.
how you really get handled and make sure you don't give them a full control, but keep it on to your so that the ball is really passed very softly and smoothly by the sides.
Lovely. That's such an amazing input that, guys focus on taking it towards the things you know. So, sir, this is always told like, you should be the one who's in the driver's seat for your interview. Try to understand what the panelist is looking at. If I ask you from a layman, from a student perspective, I'm sitting and I'm giving an interview, how should I gauge the panelist? What should I look forward to understanding?
Right. See, most of the time, interview panelists initially for about first few minutes, they would like to only hear and not speak. That's the first trick. So that's a good thing for us that you try to listen or say as much as possible. And based on the kind of questions each one of them start throwing, you will see a balance where one is trying to handle more of a technical side, one is looking at your personality, and one is looking at your preparedness for the interview as a future. So I think this is a balance usually, and that is how we do it. And like ISBR, and which is what most of the top schools also do, that we also try to have one alumnus with us sitting along with us. So I think that gives us a lot of guts to also understand a transformation from where he was to where he is right now. And so what he would like to also ask from him. So if you kind of understand this, so I think you can at least be comfortable with one.
Correct.
I'm sure you will find one comfort zone with one. So try to most answer him as well as give equal importance, but kind of answer him so he takes more interest in talking to you and balance the interview and you're comfortable then.
Lovely. That's really good. That's actually very true, guys. You know, you'll always have like one alumni, one faculty, one industry person out there
Yeah,
also
right.
who's there. So, you know, kind of see who's asking. Someone is going to be like a tough nut. There'll probably be someone who's, you know, like only sitting and observing, not even asking you
True.
any questions. They'll be like the devil's advocate for your body language and the way you speak and everything. Do they do that now also, sir? Because I remember in one of
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah, yeah. They do, they do. I mean, it's not really by choice, but sometimes some professors are very less talkative, but observe a lot. And well, we are forced to judge you in that few minutes alone, though we do not want to. So it's always nice to still keep your eye contact in with everyone and kind of make sure that they oblige to your answers. You know, many times you have this look. And so that will really throw us very nervous on a if I am a student, when I enter, if I don't really see a very pleasing faces, I'm already putting down. But I don't think that should ever deter you or deter you from what you really want to say. So make sure you're still putting your points absolutely clear what you want to say. For example, in ISBR, I give them a chance finally even when we exit. So I ask them, is there any question or anything that you want to ask us as a college or me as alone? So I think there's another room for you to say something or ask that you forgot to do it in the past answers of yours. So
correct.
ek mauka. I think that is what most of us require.
Yeah.
So we at ISBR, I believe in that because I want to see him talk. You know, CAT, you can't talk. Or any other places, your academics, you don't talk. Your CV talk, your papers talk. But this is one final place where I really see you. So I want to see you coming into our, college to transform into industry. So you finally matter and not any of the papers that you carry with you that is degree. So at ISBR, for us, the holistic personality as you in wholesome becomes a very important, hence a super weightage to a PI.
Lovely. That's, I think, a very, very important piece of advice that, you know, you have to believe in yourself and remind yourself you matter. And that is what you will showcase in your interviews with utmost confidence, which is what I think the panelists are looking forward to showcase your skills to them, and they can choose you, not a fake personality out there, because that's not going to last.
Absolutely not. And I think one other piece of advice, if there are times that due to our accents or MTIs or a nervousness, it is possible that I don't really get a question. Right? I might not understand. As a student, I did not understand a panelist question. So it is absolutely okay to ask the person to repeat the question. It is absolutely, that is not wrong. That's the first thing. Second, however, it becomes important. How do you ask him? Many times, uh, sir, can you please tell me again? Your voice have to be in very requesting mode. I beg your pardon, but can I please request you to repeat that question for me or make me understand better? Or I don't really get the question. May I please request you to please re-utter for me? So I think that way you put it really matters. That's the first. And second, it is absolutely okay to tell the panelist that you do not know the answer. Instead of beating around the bush and doing anything around the world, please tell them you do not know the answer. However, you would love to get back to the panel, probably given an opportunity to join the college, and you will come back with the answer on the day one of the college.
Absolutely. I think that's like really an important thing. Many a times you have students just faffing out and guessing every
Yes.
random things, which is not
Yes.
helping me. You know,
Yeah.
always learn and understand whoever's your panelist. Sorry, no, with due respect, but they will be someone who's much more aged than you and with a lot of experience in industry, in academics. You can't fake to them. You can't say random things out there. So it's better to say, I don't know, but in a humble way, in a nice way, that you are ready to accept I don't know something, but at the same time you're someone who's ready to learn,
Yeah,
right?
like we always say, tir maro, without a pain. So you really throw an arrow without having probably feeling a little pain. But however, you've said it. that you don't know.
Correct.
So that the question can really be modified enough to make you understand what you probably know. So as I said, that's again the ball in your court, and you need to make sure that it's safely kept there.
Lovely, lovely. That's an amazing session with you guys. And I would like to just quickly summarize for all of you guys. Like Sir said, the ball is always going to be in your court. You have to make the utmost use of the entire timeline to make sure that you are cracking the interview and driving it in your favor. Just keep in check what you're saying, your words, your tone, and your body language is going to help you showcase that confidence, and just make sure your content is well aligned to what you are saying as well with respect to your forms, applications, SOPs, resume, all of these things. And I think one best piece of advice which Sir gave was walk in with a smile and leave with a smile.
Yes, and this time probably to add another word, walk in with a smile and make sure when you leave, all are smiling, both the panelists as well as you.
Okay, that's amazing. That's a lovely piece of advice. So thank you so much, Dr. Vasanth, for
Thank
sharing
you.
time with us. It's a pleasure to have you on board with us today.
All the best, guys, and lovely wishes to all your life, and make sure you crack it with peace. And the best wishes to Anisha and to the entire CATKing team. Lovely talking.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Signing off. Thank you so much.